Hi. We're getting a new stove tomorrow, and we're going to start redoing the kitchen soon. But we haven't taken out the old stove, and we haven't started taking apart the kitchen yet, so we don't have a place for the stove ready yet. So the stove's going to have to be in storage for a little bit. So the thought I had was to build a little cart on wheels, so when they deliver it, they can put it on the cart, and then we can move the stove into position and put it in place when it's time to do that. And it'll be a little bit easier to have the cart ready and I can just put it on the cart instead of having them deliver it and then making a cart when it's time to move it, and then we have to get it on the cart and move it, or move the stove somehow to where it needs to go. After looking at the video files, I actually realized that I made this cart and shot this video almost 2 months ago. So we've been working on this kitchen for a while now. So the stove is 36 by 24. So I'll make it. I can set up my stop, which is pretty simple on the radial arm saw. Yes, I'm jointing and planing 2x4s. But this will make them go together nice and flat. It'll make the cart nice and flat, not have any wobble to it. And it just takes a minute. I like to screw the 4 pieces together before I drill the holes for the caster bolts. And then the caster bolts will actually really do the holding of the cart together. Now I don't want to put screws where I'm going to put holes for the bolts for these. So I cut some little pieces because the bolts that hold the wheels are wider than the 2x4. So I need something for the bolt to go through. The wheels are actually going to be on the other side. Gonna have to get these out. Okay, I changed my mind. I think the wheels go on this side. When we moved the houses and moved the shop, I put everything on wheels. So I have a whole bunch of casters now. So when I need to make a cart, I just throw it together. Now with the pieces all attached, I can drill the holes for the bolts for the casters. And I'll drill a little relief hole, I guess I'll call it, for the head of the bolt that'll hold the casters in place. So now when I drill these quick secondary holes, the bolt will sit below the surface, so it won't stick up and hit whatever you've put on the cart. And then I can just put the casters on. This always seems like it's going to go really fast, and it does. There's just so many bolts to put in, so it actually takes a little bit of time. And it's ready for the stove. I sort of think of the stove as the table saw of the kitchen. It's sort of the tool in the kitchen that you actually make things at. The fridge and the dishwasher and the sink, you sort of put things in and you take things out, but you don't really make things with them. Whereas the stove, you stand there and create. So it seems like it needs to be a nice piece of equipment. Now, looking at the stove and how it was sitting on the cart, I realized the stove has wheels. So it's kind of like,
why do I overthink this stuff? I really don't need the cart. Now I have the problem of how do I get the stove off the cart? Oh well.
Thanks for watching.